Support for this podcast is brought to you by Market Squawk, powered by livesquawk.co.uk. If you are, for example, a little bit curious about crypto, if you want to dabble in gold due to the current situation, Market Squawk powers Live Squawk for your on-demand pay-as-you-go data needs. Listen, we all could do with an extra couple of quid. Maybe they help you. Support is also brought to you by xbrain.co.uk, who give us literally every single thing to make us so jacked and so handsome. And I'm nearly 40 and it's unbelievable. And that's all down to Xbrain. Promo code Fighting Words saves you 30% on checkout. We are joined by an absolute G. We got Showtime Sonny Edwards up in the place. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for that. Right, can you see me? One sec. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I turn my brightness up. Yeah, thank you for having me on. I mean, first of all, before anything, I want to apologize for sleeping the last 2 times. But in camp, I'll be real. My sleeping pattern is whenever I want to go to sleep. So, I mean, I'm falling asleep at 5, 6 o'clock, waking up at 1, being up till 4, 5 in the morning, sleeping a couple of hours. Like, it's whenever I just listen to my body. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
don't blame you.
Apologies is what I'm saying. Apologies. When I need sleep, I need sleep.
Yeah, no. Listen, we hold a very, very casual situation, which is, you know, it's talking into phones or talking into a computer. It's not like, you know, it's no hardship. You know, we always can get this done. And again, thank you for joining us. You are someone you've been on the list for quite a while, and absolute dream to talk to you. So, when are you flying out?
Monday the 14th.
Decent. You're enjoying Dubai life now, yeah?
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Some people might be hearing that and thinking, oh, flying out Monday, flying to Saturday. That's by choice. The last time they wanted me to fly out or offer me to fly out like the Thursday, Friday, the week before, you know, so I have like a full week into it. But last time Lyndon was fighting and it was my son's 3rd birthday party.
Yeah.
So, and it's his 3rd birthday. So if I didn't have to miss that, I weren't missing it. So I told him to book my flights to Monday. Then last time it worked perfect, like the time zone difference. It was easy to adjust to. Like I was just taking it out of my sleep, and I'm up quite late anyway. Anyway, so it felt perfect. So I just said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So yeah, I'm going out there on a Monday.
Just out of interest, how is Lyndon? Like I love Lyndon. I was wounded to see that last bout. Like I was shocked, honestly. Like I think Lyndon is an absolute world-class G. I think he comes back, and this is one of those, it's a blip more than anything, I think.
Yeah, like he's good. Obviously, it was a bit gutted about how the fight went, but at the end of the day, it's 1-1. I think any version of Yard winning that fight always looks like that. So
yeah,
people might think, oh, well, that's completely no. Any version of Lyndon beating Yard looks like how it did the first time, and any version of a Yard beating Lyndon is like that. So I think he didn't box with a fear that he boxed in the first one. And fear's a good thing in boxing. It usually raises everything. It raises your ante. It raises your reactions, everything. And you could see in that one, he weren't moving. He weren't opening the gap. Like everything was a bit in his head. He was thinking, you're going to blow yourself out. You're going to blow yourself out. And to be fair, if that fight goes 6 more minutes, he's blowing himself out. He was breathing heavy in the round before he stopped him.
Fact.
He was breathing heavy, and he did get to him and he hurt him and he busted him a bit. And then as Lyndon stood up at 8, 9, he was on his feet. The ref waved it off. He didn't argue because that's not his character. He's not. And obviously he was a bit hurt, but he would have kept getting up and thinking until he couldn't no more. Like, that's just not Lyndon's character. Like, but yeah, Yard got it back. It's 1-1 now. That fight probably will happen again. No, it is what it is. But yeah, he's good. He's living the life over in San Francisco Bay. And I think he's linked up with Josh Boazzi. He's gone over to spend a month over there, experience America life. I think he was at. Well, he was watching Steph Curry shooting 3-pointers, I think, yesterday. So I don't know if they play where he is or they was visiting where he is. I don't really know. But yeah, he's living life. Boxing's taking him literally around the world from Colliers to State. You know what I mean? So I remember there was a shot that was caught that we didn't even fully realize as we were walking back to the change rooms. And me and him are half laughing and playing off, but not out of a place of not being heartbroken and gutted about what just happened. But look where we are. Look at me and him. We started on GB together. Even before that, we started speaking, and we both really come from nothing. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe him more than me. Like he's probably seen a lot more trials and tribulations than I have, because I've seen a lot of boxing. Like I've been I've basically been like a professional boxer since 11 years old. Started when I was 9 and started taking it seriously. My brother started doing well, so like I'm so proud of him as a friend, as a brother, and
yeah,
it is what it is. Like he got bashed up probably on the streets at 16, 17 for nothing. Do you know what I mean? So he might have got bashed up a little bit that fight, but getting paid very handsomely to do so, and profile. And the maddest thing is, I was in the ring and did obviously the ring walk with his belt. It was in London. 70-80% of the noise was for Lyndon, and that is fact.
Of course it was.
It shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Not in the lines in the hometown. It shouldn't be, but it was, and there was not one person that would argue that was in the venue. Like, and I think even the promoters and people involved was a bit surprised at just how likable Lyndon is, and I don't think that result will change that. He's a very likable guy. He's got a big profile. He's got an infectious personality, so he'll go, and he's a good fighter. And now he's a free agent now, and I know he's speaking to people behind the scenes, and he's making relationships behind the scenes, and he's going to get looked after properly now. And
I mean, I hope so, because the what 1L doesn't. I mean, it means so. Like it's every single month, it seems like it's meaning less and less and less to pro fighters now. The undefeated. Go on.
Because you're getting less and less credit for just being undefeated. It's like, hey, you're 27-0. Who have you fought? Like, I would rather, and as for my friends, I'd rather end your career with a boxing record with a bit of character.
Fact.
30 wins, 4 losses, might have got knocked out, a couple of draws. Have some character, like the proper fighters that would test themselves all the time. Fight at whatever level your platform, your marketability, your purses can fight you at. Because otherwise, what you're doing, wasting the best years of your life, fighting tin cans for easy paydays. Like, come on, we're better than that.
Speaking of, did you actually hear back from young Edward Hearn about whether they would get you out or not? Because that was such a big statement. Here's a picture of the suitcases, lad. I'm ready.
I'm ready. Do you know what? If I'm perfectly honest, I heard he said, I don't know how realistic it was, but he said that it was a good PR move, and he also said that he genuinely believes that had the phone rang up, I would have went, and I'm glad that he said that, because it's the truth. Like, I know different levels, but when I was in my second pro fight, my opponent got changed the day before. The weight changed from flyweight to super bantamweight, pretty much 54.5. I was flying in from Marbella, where I was living at the time, to Scotland. Landed in at about 3:30, got to the venue and weighed in at 4. I was in the ring fighting at 8 p.m. And I know that's like, oh, well, that's in your second fight in a 4-rounder, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I know a lot of pros that wouldn't have had that carry on in their second pro fight. Me, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, fine. And yes, Chocolatito is a bit of a different animal, but sometimes there's opportunities that just, if that did happen, like if that fight really was off, which it looked like at one point, that it was really off.
It really did, yeah.
Like if you want to book a flight and I get over there, I'll jump on the scale and I'll get in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fact. I would. I'm ready. I'm 2 weeks out of my world title fight. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
And it's a voluntary, so I could fuck him off. I could fuck Wazim right off and say, jog on, mate. You know what I mean? My voluntary, I could do that. So it was a genuine request. How realistic it could have done with everything that the world's in right now, and like I said, I don't know, but I genuinely meant it. And it's me just saying, if Eddie or anyone else wants to make any of these big fights with their super fighters, just come over and speak to me. Like, I'm chasing Martinez so heavily. Like, I can't be chasing everybody. You know what I mean?
No.
If someone wants to chase me, I'll turn around and meet you. So Eddie knows I'll fight anyone. Eddie knows that. My management, my promoter, and my advisor knows that I'll fight anyone. So
with that bout, like, what did you see? Because we were actually chatting about it before you came on. Like, I personally think you give Roman real problems, because if you listen, you stand in front of him and you try it, and you you really want to give it to him. That's his world. If you're a mover, if you're slick, if you're the IQ that, like, for yourself that you have, I think you give him fucking fits.
Yeah, I think one thing about me and my style is You can put anyone in the ring against me, and unless they're icing me just straight away, I'm constantly tricky. I'm constantly awkward. I'm constantly reacting, smothering, landing, making you miss. Like, I'm very elusive. Like, you could genuinely put me in the ring with probably like a world level, like welterweight. And I'm not saying I'd even land a glove or try to land a glove, but I could promise you I could survive a 3 rounds or something, 4, 5, 6 rounds.
Yeah,
So every time they go to throw a shot, I'll just move. Like, I'm very good at that. My footwork is way quicker than the average boxer, the average human, even the elite ones. Like, my footwork's up there with like the Lomachenkos, the Rigondos, people that have such control and balance over themselves. And I might just be blind smoke on my own ass, but I've proved it to myself that many times. Like, I can do it. I know I can get in there and make it, even if I make it boring and make it about fencing, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? I can prove that I can do that. And Roman Gonzalez is one of the best of us. He is. But like I've been saying, I'm in a position where I've got to this stage and this level in my career, all relatively within myself, and I'm still maturing. I'm still developing. I'm 26, just turned, but I'm really probably like a 21-year-old in my body. Like, I'm just starting to get hairs on my chest. Like, my beard is just, I just had to shave in it, but it's just starting.
You look fresh. You look fresh, mate. You're
Yeah,
super fresh. You're Dubai ready.
Dubai ready. But like, it's one of those where, one second, sorry. It's one of those where I want to prove to myself how great I am, because really I don't know. All I do know is that every fight I've ever been in the ring with, even the amateurs where maybe I lost, any fight I lost in amateurs was like one of those non-decisions. Like, if a draw could be given, it probably would have been. Cards always ridiculously close. 1 point in it on the computer scoring, split decisions, rounds split left, right. And I've never really lost clearly, even in sparring. I've sparred hundreds of fighters, maybe into the thousands. Not once has someone got out of that ring with a story to tell that they've handed me my ass. And I sparred featherweight, super featherweights, lightweight, even genuinely like in proper 8-10 round spars, but they're trying to take my head off. They might get in there and think, oh, he's only a flyweight. 2-3 rounds in, they're biting the gum, just trying to take my head off. Like, and it's no disrespect to any of them, because there's a lot of good fighters out there I've been in the ring with, but they'd probably agree. Maybe not publicly, but definitely privately, because I've heard the conversations that go around my name. Like, I mean, like, I'm very good.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. This era that we're moving into now, there was always a few of the skill virtuoso kind of fighters that somehow made it through, but a lot of them, you're talking about. I'm trying to think of examples. Like Winky Wright would have been one that you kind of in other eras wouldn't have been considered to be a draw, because he wasn't exactly a knockout puncher. He was skilled. He was a southpaw. He controlled it all with the jab, Lyndon style.
His defense and reaction was incredible. How he
exactly
and made it hard to hit, even though he was pressing you.
Yeah, great and like now you're one of the ones that is like HBO in the HBO peak. They wouldn't have had you because they just wanted people to stand in front of each other and give each other brain damage, right? Not your vibe. But now we're getting into this stage where skill and slickness and the craft is back. And that's what I'm most excited about with fighters like yourself. Because like, even, like I said, I'm considerably older than thee. But when you first went pro, there was always this thing where it was like semi-amateur-ish style. Is it going to be effective? Okay, now it is effective. It's effective at British level. Is it going to be effective at world level? He's won a world title. Okay, now what? That's kind of the fascinating thing about you, because you always find the way. And I don't think I've seen you really even that troubled in a pro bout. Yeah.
No, like, even the times I've been put down, if you actually dissect, I've been put down twice in my life.
Yeah.
3 times if you count when I was about 14 or 15, 12, 15 kilos lighter than my brother. And because I was having some success and being cheeky, he just nailed me with a body shot. And I kind of half went down, because then I knew he'd get in trouble, do you know what I mean, for being a bully. But apart from them, the 2 times you've seen it are the only 2 times in my life that no one's ever put me down to sparring ever. Ever. Since I'm 9 years old, and I spar probably more than any active pro you've ever come across, genuinely.
Full sparring, or is it kind of
no, my sparring is wars. Unless I'm
really?
unless I'm starting to, but I'll never take the piss. The moment I'm getting too much, I will dial it down accordingly. And
Yeah.
I'm very big on that, because something about being able to discipline yourself and stay intelligent, stay switched on, stay composed, even when you're pulling back a little bit. That's his own skill in itself, which a lot of people can't.
Sure.
If they switch off and then they start letting them back in and catching them. Do you know what I mean? But there, I spar a hell of a lot. I always have. So the rounds for me has never been an issue. Like, I always knew, because I was doing 12 rounders spars against like 5-6 different opponents, all different weights. Like, every gym I went to as an amateur became the Sonny Edwards show. Like,
Right.
parents used to say it to, like, oh, it's like the Sonny Edwards show in here, because I'd be able to spar, move around the lighter kids, then my weight, and then go 10 kilos above, like through Repton, through Newham, through Lint. That's really, really what I did. Any gym that I didn't get a lot of sparring, I hated it. I just needed sparring. And even to this day, I have wars. I did 56 rounds with Galal this camp.
Jesus.
Every single round was like a fight. Every single round was like a proper, both of us trying to show each other who's boss. Every single round. That's how I like it. I don't.
So you're just war ready then, aren't you? If it gets to it, then you're good to go. Let's not let it get
If I
to
don't
it.
spar for like a couple of weeks or a month or something, 6 weeks, I start, like, my body starts shutting down. Like, I'm not
Really?
motivated. I'm moping about. Like, it's my body shocks itself into a state of depression. But that's because since young, my dad prided himself on being able to take his little boxer, chuck him in a boxing ring, and just leave him in there. Like, seriously, just leave me in there. Like, so I've always been conditioned for 12 round fights, because that's all I've ever done. It probably paid detriment to my amateur career, because I got used to 12 round, 10 round, 8 round patterns of fighting. That's what I was doing every night when I was sparring. I was only fighting for 3 rounds. So I'd half lose the first round, pick it up in the second, always win the third round. Sometimes I'd lose 2 rounds to 1 or something like that. It was never, I always finish strong, because by the time I get their rhythm, which if you look at all my fights, first round I usually come out and they always start a bit slow because they got 12 rounds. I win the first round. Any close round is usually the second, where they think, let me start putting up. By the end of the third round, I've got their rhythm. The rest of the fight is my fight. Every single time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Every single time, pretty much.
We had Steve Robinson on, the big Geordie, Drogo.
Oh, the one that lost. He lost, didn't he?
Yeah. But I mean, he had a bunch of reasons for it, but he was saying pretty much the same thing. He's like, I'm doing 10, 12 rounds with Hughie Fury. And then, I'm basically he explained what happened in that, what happened in that fight. And he was basically like, by round 4 or 5, I'm awake now and I know I've got to do this, but honestly, I haven't got enough time. He's like, why am I sparring 12 rounds for a 6-round fight? It was pretty much what you're saying, but on the other end of the coin, like you're like, prepared, where he maybe took it as a little bit for granted, should we say?
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the sign-in with Probellum. Probellum? Can't even say the fucking... Probellum, yeah.
Means war in Latin, I think.
Does it? It's a good name. I like their branding. I like their websites. I like everything they're doing. Like, what? Because we spoke to Regis, and he's on the undercard. He said that basically they've promised him 2 fights, then straight into a world title contention. They seem mobile. They seem powerful enough, and to be fair, I think it's a very good entry into the market. So they're bolting people on for fun.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a very good vision. They've also got other business models around boxing, like, and that I can't really delve into, but the world is an ever evolving place. We've got stuff like crypto, metaverses, all that nonsense. Content is key. Look how much these YouTubers and stuff make. Do you know what I mean? Before they jump in the ring, I'm talking about just for making content. Look at you lads making podcasts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Content is key. Eyes on screen is the biggest value, data, all of that. So, like I said, they've got other visions and plans and reasons why I know it will work. And they've got big powerhouse in the game. I mean, the involvement of people like Richard Schaefer, Harris Whitman, and I could just sit here and listen and listen. Stella. But not only that, every promoter seems quite willing to work with them so far, and they've also got the co-promotions and sponsored events that are doing all around the world that are just reaching into corners of the world that have been untouched and unflowered for so long. I mean, look, there's been shows in Ghana. I'm going to a Probellum show in Denmark to take my advised, I can't say managed fighter yet without getting in trouble by the board.
Advised
fighter, Thomas Asomba, to Denmark. We've got an opportunity over there through the Show Savers banner. And that's a Probellum sponsored event, headlined by TK Promotions doing it, but getting fingers everywhere and connecting world boxing, globalizing it. Too many promoters approach boxing with, this is us, this is our fort, you stay out of there, they're bad people, they're this, that, and the other, don't go over there, taking the piss out of each other. And all that conflict and division's only good for the promoters.
Yeah, of course.
Not good for the boxers.
Yeah.
Not good
it's
for the
about
boxers.
time that the boxers got their opportunity to be the masters of their own destiny. You guys have been sort of held down for so long by the promoters.
For sure, and I think that's one of the main reasons of me going them. Not only, are they paying very competitive purses, let's not beat around the bush. That's what every boxer looks at first when they're signing anything. Competitive thing. But I was the headline of their first ever show. And it was honestly the most stress-free, easily, smoothest ran, professional shine, impressive, all of the jazz above. And it was their first ever show. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely, I'm not just saying it, but I'm with them. Like, it was like, normally, bear in mind, I've been involved in loads of other people's fight weeks, other promoters, and I've been all around the world and whatever, and in between. Like, I've never, ever seen someone, and it'd be me, not have to get onto their manager about something, even if it's little, like, when's the checkpoint coming on, they're messing about, or I had tickets, comps, anything like that. It was all smooth sailing, everything from getting to the airport, getting picked up, going to the hotel, checking in, drugs testing, when you need to the weight car, travel. We had a big Cadillac Escalade or whatever it is, like 7-seater, driving us around where on my timing, wherever we wanted to go. The lads were going to the gym, they was taking, like, it was just wicked. And then I had 4 days after with the McCormack twins and Lyndon, as well as a few other lads, the lads that came out of having a little holiday. It was just fantastic, to be honest. It was really good memories and a good, like, and maybe it took away my homecoming that was originally planned. But with everything that was going on, no shows in January, Frank couldn't get me out before Christmas. They was interested in putting the fight on. There was already 2 Filipinos on the card in Casemiro and Donny Niet. So then it just made sense. It's like, why don't we get that fight when it come about? And they got it. And then after that, when they offered me a contract, like, it was a no-brainer, especially as when we sat down and I said to him, I want to have the freedom to be able to cross promoter lines and be able to fight any which one. Like, I want any conversation to be able to have, to be able to me be involved, and the potential of a deal being made to be genuinely reasonable. And if it's not getting made, it's not because you lot ain't getting paid enough or them lot ain't getting paid enough, or it's on my say so, or the other fighters say so. You know what I mean? And that's what their goal is. So it's good. Like, I'm really happy, and the other fight they're signing shows intent. Like, look at my undercards. I know that fight didn't happen, but Casemiro, Donny Nietz, Olympic gold medalist Jalalov, John O'Carroll, like, they're all good name recognizable fighters.
Big names.
Now we look at Regis Progress, Tyrone McKenna, massive fight, massive name in Regis Progress. You got Peter McGraw on there. You got other fighters. I've not even looked all the way head down. TJ Doheny, like that shows that other promoters don't even try to put on the level of talent on display all in one card. Is that shape? I think that's Shaquille Foster or something as well. The American, like, I think he's fighting on one of the cards. And there's 2 nights. I might be getting one of the nights confused, but it's just great for boxing. Incredible for the boxers. And it's giving us a chance. You know what I mean?
I mean, the thing is, like, Schaefer was a Swiss banker, and Golden Boy wouldn't have been Golden Boy without Schaefer. Like Schaefer understands ops, he understands logistics, and he understands delivery. I think maybe better, if not as well as anyone to have ever been into boxing. That seems to be, like, from what you've just said there, is a massive indicator of the intent, like you said. So just to circle back to what you were saying about the content side of things. So, because this is something like we do a lot with, you know, domestic guys that maybe aren't as known, like your boy. We would have him on in a second, give him, like, even our small platform, even though, you know, we do rank every now and again top 200 in sports in Jamaica, shout out to us, no big deal. You know what I mean? But even our small platform, it all makes a difference. And if out of the 1,000 people that listen to it, or the couple of hundred that see it on YouTube or whatever, he gains 1 or 2 fans, and one of those buys a ticket. It, like you said, this is a great way for people to do it. So for yourself, are you, because you're world champion level, so the lower levels, would you be pumping the advised fighters, give people as much access, let them see you doing the training bits? Like Troy Williams does a great job of just a couple of stories of him smashing the granny shredded in the gym, or Dan Aziz does a very good job of it as well. Just a little bit of showing it. He's finishing his circuit on the watt bike. There's just ever so slightly these little things that I think a big chunk of it come from, like the 24/7s and the UFC prime times and stuff like that. It starts there, but there's no reason now we've all got 4K phones with editing software at the palm of our hands. It's not that hard for you just to pass it to someone and say, can you cut that together for me, please, bruv?
Yeah, for sure. And it's that effort and that taking time out. Like, one person I see who's very good at it, and to be fair, he's half making me want to try and up my game, because I'm not the best at that sort of stuff, I'll be real. Not the best at selling myself, because really, all I've ever wanted to be is a boxer. Like, being famous don't really do nothing for me. Like, I quite enjoy, don't get me wrong, I do get noticed, I do get recognized, but I never really look for it. You know, there's some people that go out there and they're fucking eye contact with everyone to see if anyone's looking at them. And I've seen it, I know it. So when I say it, know that it's true. I'm the opposite me. I'm usually got my hat up, maybe even my hood up, and bopping through. If I'm in a nightclub or social and thing, I'm not really trying to let on to anyone I don't really know, and you know what I mean, unless they're a female. But you know what I mean, it's just one of those. No, but it's just me. Like there's certain ways I like being, and certain things I don't like giving up. And obviously that might end up, you know, if boxing goes well as I hope it do, then I might not be able to have that luxury of that anonymity, because it kind of comes with the territory. But at the same time, it's always been a hard thing for me to do, to try and chase that sort of status or famous, or it's just not really what I'm in it for. Like, but that being said, like someone like Florian Mark, who's been in my gym for the last few months, like, he'll just get like a little video every day. I would take this, and like sometimes I know a lot of fighters are like, oh yeah, let's just film this. Oh, makes look, I'm really training hard, and go out. Let's just go to chat. But like, I see Florian, like, generally in the middle of his proper thing, he'll just call someone like, oh, take this. Do you know what I mean? And then still smashing it. Do you know what I mean? So
I see that's. But you have to, like you said, you have to have the mindset of that. Like, when you're doing heavy spars, the last thing you're thinking is someone needs to take a picture of me taking my wraps off afterwards. You're just sitting there. You're probably sitting there thinking about what you did and didn't like about the spar. Yeah, that's almost like you need a resource there and then to be like your assistant / social media person /
for real. Like, but at the same time, it would drive me crazy a bit at the same time, because like, I like that I just go to the gym, I do my thing, work hard, come home, wait until the next day to come. Like, I try not to put too much of myself to this internet world and reality world where we live in. Like I after like winning my world title, when since and before, like, I had even like my broadcasters at the time, you know, trying to get into my house with cameras, you know, trying to get captured a moment. My mum gets to see my world title or all that nonsense. Like, but I just say, nah, it's not really. That's that's me. Them moments are for me and my family. Do you know what I mean? And nah, it's not a story for you to make money off. It's not. It's never going to be, and it never will be. So I think you got to find a balance, and I think that's why because I hide a lot of, I don't think I hide, I'm just not, with who I really am outside of boxing, people probably don't really know. Like, I'm a very generous person. I'm very straight. I'm very quite honest. I'm very quiet. Don't let people get away with things. Don't let people take the piss. I can be a loner at times. I want to be like sometimes just in my own timing. But like, you know, I don't know, maybe you'll see me in interviews, you might see me on Twitter or whatever, and you'll get such a, this is what he's like, which is fine because obviously I like play. That's me playing, having fun, and half staying relevant, half giving you something that I'm not really prepared to give you video in me all the time, showing what my life's doing, what I'm doing my day. But a couple of things on Twitter, now I feel like I'm always involved in everything. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's kind of my way of giving the fans something without giving them too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like some fighters, I don't know, they might have a fly in the wall camera following them all around and they're chopping it up and making little mini documentaries, or I don't know, they're doing whatever, which I don't begrudge. I don't begrudge it, but me, I like being quite personal in my private life. And I like being able to turn the camera off and be me, be dad, be a brother, be a son. You know what I mean? I'm not always a boxer. You know, boxing's on my mind pretty much 24/7. Sometimes I don't want to exist as a boxer. I want to have conversations with you, someone that doesn't know about boxing.
Yeah.
I find myself, I'm a master of the sport. I'm sorry, I might be big-headed, but I've done 17 years, way past an apprenticeship. Like, I've graduated 5-6 times over in this.
Fact.
Like, so I don't want to speak and tell 15 people every time I step out the house who's going to win about Fury and AJ. Don't want to. Don't want to do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it. Like, some people, they might like, I know, getting recognized, asking for a picture, which I always do. I always give someone a bit of my time, and I'll always be humble because I appreciate that I've been a fan, and I'm still a fan of loads of things. Like, I'm not one of those people that think, oh, you can't get excited by something, like, because that makes you any less of a, you know what I mean? There is them people that exist like me, enjoy life, enjoy what you want to enjoy.
Do what you want to do whenever you want to do it, you know, as long as you're not hurting anyone, who gives a fuck?
Exactly, but at the same time, don't, like, some people get buzzed, maybe people asking for a picture or autograph or for a photo or whatever. For me, it's not. It's just come past and parcel with it. You know what I mean? But as long as I know I'm a good person, I don't think any comments or any opinions on my boxing, my life, my personal life, it don't really bother me, to be honest. I'm just in my own lane.
I think that's a big part of your allure to that. A lot of the public, though, and a lot of the fans, they see you as a stringent professional, as a boxer, and they don't judge you on anything but what you've proven in the ring, which is pretty much what it sounds like you want. And I think that's what a lot of the fans see.
Authentic is the thing. You know, someone's getting done for, or someone is maybe having something covered up. We all know what it is. You're going to 100% tweet, Geezer's probably on a little bit of Deca. Or I tell you what, the Catterall Taylor thing. So in the very few, you're one of the few people that I follow on Twitter, because Twitter's not for me, right? It's not my vibe, right?
Not for everyone.
No, it's not. It's just, do you know what it is? It's like people in a shopping centre walking around shouting. Just shouting. Just literally, everyone's got Tourette's. Everyone, it's like going to a Care Bear concert. It's wild, right?
Yeah,
but anyway, West, like, it is Wild West. But you had that fight 7-5, and I'm like, where's Sonny? Like, I've watched it twice since. I see it as 7-5 now. Originally, for me, like me and Jess, we were like messaging like a couple of fucking kids, like, this is a liberty, this is outrageous. Like, 7-5 is pretty much, you watch that a few times and you're like, 7-5. It's not like it was naughty. It was bad that it happened. Like, you nailed that.
Yeah, well, first and foremost is because I know boxing.
Yep.
As good as anyone. Doesn't mean I always see things right. Like, there might be things, you know what I mean? Well, people might always agree with me, but I know boxing. I've score rounds in my sleep whilst I'm inside it, whilst I'm outside it. You know what I mean? But I think what suffers a lot is like the underdog syndrome.
Yeah.
And I'm a victim of it,
100%.
especially when someone that you like. I like Jack. And I do think he won 7 rounds to 5 with a knockdown, plus the points taken off, adds up to whatever it adds up to. So in that sense, yes, I do believe Jack should have won. I don't think Josh should have won. But it weren't the absolute 9-3, 10-2, 11-1 that some people are trying to pretend it was.
Yeah,
or
it very easily as if you wanted it to be, though, right? So if you really saw that and you was just like, if you're going to pick a clear winner in any of these, if there was no ambiguity, no gray zone, then you could quite comfortably get. But then, Josh was the bigger man. He was roughing him up. He was constantly the aggressor. I think Teddy Atlas said that Catchall's biggest problem is that he acted like he was so far ahead in the final 3-4 rounds that he didn't come to really nick it. And that's kind of accurate as well. That's another thing for the 7-5.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's hard though, because once you're getting tired and you think I've just done lockdown, I've probably won them amount of rounds and I've just got to get through it. So it's going to start sculpting your body language and how you're reacting to everything. Sure. For me, if I'm playing devil's advocate and I'm putting my expert boxing hat on and my knowledge of the rules of the Queensberry Marquis, whatever you want to call it, of boxing, if you score before or after a foul, they can discredit that work because you've done you've infringed the rules to get that success. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's worded specifically in the rules. Yeah, and I know this because my dad obviously did all the rule things and learned back to forward the rule book. Do you know what I mean? I would constantly remind you of the rule book. So I know this, that in the scoring, that is in some consideration. And at that point, and you look at, if you start looking at a lot of the work, a lot of the success, and a lot of the fouling Jack was doing, it's negative, it is. And don't get me wrong, sorry, my sister just called me. She's probably going to call again because the clock's up so quick. But in that sense of things, it probably does even bring it closer. That being said, with all of that said, I still think Jack should have won. I do think Jack, Jamie Moore, Nigel. I'd say the same to Josh. I like Josh. But I can't begrudge him for thinking he won it because you're in there, he's fighting, he's remembering the shots he got landed with, he's remembering the shots he landed, time trying to fight and he's not fighting. Like, and it is what it is. Me personally, if a fight like that got reacted like that and I come out like that, I'd probably reacted different. Maybe even just to pander the crowd, just to, you know what I mean? Even if you thought beat down, I thought I just nicked it. Say, well, it could have went either way. Maybe he did deserve it. I don't know. I've got it. It's not going to change the result. And your reaction to you is going to be different. I mean, I've said this to my friends before. Like, I remember Zelfa with the Kiko Martinez. I even said to him, if I was you, I'd have come out and said, you know what I mean? Just because you don't.
That was a heavy one, that one, wasn't it? That was,
but
listen.
At the same time, I'll be real. One second, do you know what I think it was? Yeah, do you know with that fight, what I think happened? Kiko was winning the beginning of the fight, and then there was rounds that was going against the grain of Kiko winning, and closer rounds, which, do you know when like you're 3-0 down and it's a closer round, the judge will give it 3-1. And then 4-1 went to Kiko, and then they might give the next one 4-2. And then when Zelfa did probably generally win, I can't remember what rounds it were, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, because he did come in strong for a period. All of a sudden now, those couple of rounds that they might have give because they were close rounds, and he's obviously, if we give them to Kiko now, I can't have him winning. Do you know what I mean? And that's going through a judge's head. So they give rounds like, but it happens. Look at Roman Gonzalez versus Chocolatito, where not Roman Gonzalez versus Chocolatito. That'd be a fight, wouldn't it? Martinez.
I'd watch that, to be honest.
Roman Gonzalez versus Chocolatito. Martinez. Sorry, it's the latest late at night. This one. And like 116, 112 or something. Sorry, what?
Listen, come on now. Yeah, what were you watching? Like, who did you take an envelope off, bruv? You know what I mean?
Other than that, it's like, okay, I've scored the last 7 rounds to him. He landed a few better shots. I'll give him that one. Like that. I know it sounds mad, but
the comparative rounds, he did better in this one and lost less. Therefore, I'm going to give it to him, kind of vibe.
It happens. It really, really does happen. Like, it's like the judges want to make the fight exciting for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
Maybe they just love up the drama.
Yeah, maybe
they just want the soap opera out of it.
Yeah, maybe. But like I said, it's just one of them. Like, that's probably how I'd react to it. But it's hard because it's not either of the fighter's fault, man. It's not.
No.
And Jack rightfully heartbroken because the worst thing is everyone pointing at it saying you should win, and he's probably looking around in his room now thinking, yo, where's my 5 belts? Like, I would be.
I tell you what, as well, for him, so, you know, it seems pretty likely that Josh will go to 147, right?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But for Jack, he'll stay at 140, and then, I mean, like, what's he got? He's got Prograis, he's got Ramirez, he's got Zepeda, he's got Sandor Martin, he's got, you know, that's 4 killers right there. And then you got the other ones coming up. You know what I mean? Like, so he's gone from everyone seeing him win to become the undisputed champion to now maybe having to collect one by one. And that's beyond not guaranteed. That's like Prograis is a fucking nightmare. You know, Ramirez, nightmare. Zepeda on his day, nightmare. Like, and there's, I can't remember, I've gone blank on the name, but a couple of them fought a couple of weekends ago. Up and coming 140ers that are just looking phenomenal.
Boxing is hard, and unfortunately, that is. But you know what? The one thing I will say, is as long as our scoring method is 3 usually quite old men, maybe some women, having an opinion on 12 separate rounds, how can you disagree with someone's opinion? You tell me. Yeah. You tell me how, because it's not just points scored, it's not just damage done. There's like a whole like things they're taking, ring generalship, dominating, holding, like press, like fighting who's fight. Like every judge sometimes looks at different things. I've got a coach that religiously studies scorecards. He knows what coaches look for by usual, like every card he'll look who scored that, why did they score that. He's emphatic about it. Like he'll try and say, well, Mark Lyson likes like, because, and he'll start listing off like 3-4 fights of examples of when he scored fights, and he'll know certain judges usually score fights exactly the same as him or very similar. Like, he's a lunatic with it, but at the same time, but when it is that, like, how can you argue someone's opinion? Like,
you know, now you say that, HBO did that with judges. They used to they used to say, you know, it used to be like, you know, Julie Lederman, you know, tends to score in the favor of the slick boxer. They used to actually say that for a bit, and then that obviously went by the wayside. You know, I'd never actually thought of that since then.
Yeah, but you can't, like, I might look at a bird and think she's a 10. You might look at her and think she's a 3. Who's right?
Yeah. Oh, whoever you're looking at, you know, you love is love.
I'll be happy taking her home, and you'll think, I can't believe he's gone home with her.
To be fair, I'd be very supportive. I'd say, look, do you want me to watch? Do you want me to sit in the corner of the room and hit the drum to help you keep stroking rhythm? I'm a team player.
Cameraman, normally my angles are a bit all like this. You know what I mean?
You can already see I've got set up and experience with lighting. I'm ready.
You've got the sounds as well.
I've got the sounds. I've got a board and everything. Let's go.
You know what I mean? We're good. Mate, I've got a few willing participants.
It's a couple of phone calls away, innit? I'm a PT. There's always a few in the list. Both of us are, you know, there's always a few. You can, you know, people want to have a go with the belt. You know what I mean? They want to have a little bit of time with the champ.
Of course. I mean, there's a waiting list at the moment, but yeah, we're working for it.
Perfect. Maybe we just whip up like an online, maybe an app.
Maybe like maybe a metaverse.
I don't understand the metaverse. I'm too old.
Neither do I, and you know
There's
what?
too much grey in my beard.
NFTs are a little bit confusing for us.
I can't lie. My brother's trying to groom me into the NFTs. Yeah, really, he's trying to. Right, so I'm probably going to, because he keeps telling me all these success stories he's going on with.
Yeah.
But what I'll say about the metaverse is, I had the PlayStation 5 or maybe 4 at the time. I can't remember. PlayStation 4 at the time. Headset. For Christmas. Had it on for 20 minutes. Nearly was physically vomiting sick, and I'm very ready. I'm on the piss. And even then, I'm not really a sicker upper ever. No. Once in a very blue moon, and it was like I was in motion sick. It's like back in the day when you used to sit looking at your Game Boy playing Pokemon all the way out the motorway to
in the back of the car,
feeling proper sick, but like that times 10. And then I tried it again a few days later, thinking it might have just been like a first thing, different game, and it did it again. So I couldn't imagine walking around the metaverse with all that. Nah, man.
Are you in this new ESBC game?
Huh?
Are you in this new? Is it ESBC, the new boxing game?
Am I in it? I'm in the main part of it,
mate. I'm laying it up for you. You just got to sell it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to buy a console again for the first time since a PS3 for that.
Honestly, like the place the game's in at now, the full steam ahead, the movement to trajectory, I can see it coming out in the not so near distant future. Can't say too much more. Like, I don't even know. They've not told me anything anyway. But like, I've done a lot of mocap sessions. I've, other fighters have as well, which was strongly for my advice as well. It's like, get as many fighters in here as possible. Every movement's a unique fighter. It looks beautiful. But the game already, without the whole under the hood stuff, I've played like even CPU and other people. Oh, the game blew my mind. Honestly, the game blew my mind. And even with stuff like not fully polished, a lot of things not fully polished. Like, if you gave me it and printed that at home and let me take it home, I would have still been playing it now. Like, good. The movement's good. Like, and it's only getting better and better. They got a wicked team down still for City Interactive. Still City, sorry. Interactive. ESBC, Ash, the whole team down there. It's phenomenal. And the fighters they've got, the reason why as well I'm so excited is boxing has some real big superstars, and most of them have been acquired by the game. I'm talking like Canelo's, Tyson Furies, even like Terence Crawford's, Muhammad Ali from yesteryear, Sugar Ray Leonard, I believe. I'm not trying to get any wrong, because obviously there's been so many. Might get some.
For sure.
I think Roman Gonzalez. I think I remember him getting announced. Like,
I've seen the list is respectable.
Every country, pretty much around the world, one of their main fighters. So, if you look at all the influence all these fighters have around, it's like it works like a hub, advertising, promoting, pushing it to all these different places. So the game for me should be a massive success. We've been waiting so long for a boxing game, and I think everyone will be pleased with what we're coming up with. And you know what? It's not just like, games released, wipe your hands off. This is going to be like concurrently getting updated, getting improved, new roster changes, new modes coming in, new everything. Like, once they've finished and they got that to a certain standard, they're going to see what else can we do. They're like a GTA that's getting constantly expanded and improved and increased, different venues, different coaches, like everything will just keep growing and growing and growing. And it's not just like a one, they're looking to do sequels and like make it the franchise of boxing. And I can really see him doing it, because when I first signed up, when I first had the conversation, when I first jumped involved, it was like there was a trailer that came out like a month or two later, and it was literally like a computer, phone game. But also they just showed it at the very, very first look.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, when they're the two bald guys, and it was zooming into their skin textures, and obviously.
So first of all, bald is an unfriendly term right now. Okay.
He's hairless.
Follically reduced would be great.
What about follically challenged?
Follically challenged is also, but I don't like the term challenged. I think that's a hot button topic right now.
Challenged, really? Well, I've been called vertically challenged before.
Me too, mate. I'm bald as well. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
I'm going.
Nah, you're right. You got listen.
I've
Dubai.
Hair, but it's the hairline.
Yeah, you got Dubai and Turkey.
I thought, do you know what?
I've seen some horror stories of that.
I mean, look at that. Look.
You know what? With your hat, you've got such a good hat on. I didn't even realize. I thought you had a nice long mop of hair underneath that.
I wish my hair got taken with kids, boy.
Oh, that's what I think mine really started as well.
Yeah, it does. It'll take the lump out of you, that one.
Definitely when I found out about the second one.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, my second one's a vibe. Taekwondo, submission. She's a wild woman. I'm going to film my wife's face when I say, babe, I'm going to buy a PS5 and buy a game. And she's not going to be overly impressed. I'm going to say, look, Sonny said I've got to do it.
Yeah.
Probably it is what it is.
Load up my character first and have a little move round of my movement in my character. What?
Mate, see, now this for you has got to be like key content. Jump on. Yeah. I'm going to be on at this time. Come have it with a champ.
They're some of the biggest ones out there, aren't they? Or the YouTube, the streamers.
By the time the game comes out, I will have a full streaming setup that they're gonna help me with, proper setup, and the lads in the thing are gonna make sure I'm proper, so I can make content for them as well as myself. But yeah, like definitely, like, and I've been playing it, so I actually have an advantage. I'm not really lost on it either. And it's also going to be so good for the community because they're looking at doing community events in real life, getting fighters around real people, doing tournaments, 16-man tournaments. Maybe sometimes it's like people that are good at their games, you know what I mean? In live, selling tickets for it, meet and greets, posters, fighters trying to promote, drum up their support. The game will have sections promoting certain fighters. They'll be looking to help push the profiles of certain fighters as and when they can. Like, the one thing that boxing is missing, and the reason why it's been stuck in the Stone Age for the last 20 years, compared to football, compared to basketball, compared to NFL, compared to all these other sports, is a video game. We've got nothing right now where millions of kids, really, because no one's playing the Xbox 360 game now. None of the new kids are. The 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old parent debit card spenders are playing. Like, we're missing out on millions and millions and millions of potential people invested in you because they might like you, they might have fought you in their story mode, they might have used you because they like the way you throw the shots, they might have known you as a fighter and now want to recreate your story, or they want to go online and use you to punch everyone up, and they want to rep their favorite fighter or their hometown with their, do you know what I mean? It's like, we're missing out on that. Look at the followers in every other sport. Even compared to like the top names, like you have like one player on like a certain American football team with like 15 million followers, then our biggest stars are not struggling to touch that. Our biggest stars. And why is that? Because they've got 50 million units sold every year, every single year of people buying this one game.
Can you not turn, so like I know the NBA does NFTs of like a Steph Curry 3-pointer. Someone can own that. There's also a company that that I like the sound of called Cumrocket. And what they do is NFTs of it's a crypto.
You like the sound. You like the sound of that. That's like, I don't know what to do with the information.
It's fine. We can move past this. We can rebuild. But this company is called Cumrocket, and it's its own crypto. It's got its own token, and they are doing NFTs. I mean, this is dedication to someone that's a little bit on the more adult friendly side. So your favorite porn star in the favorite scene of your favorite film, you can own that little thing as an NFT. Now, first of all, I don't really know how, like, I could be like, hey, Sonny, look at my new NFT. And it's just like Tiana Trump getting fucking railed. Shout out Tiana Trump.
I'm just trying to think who is the first one I'd buy.
That's what I'm saying.
And I know who it'd be, without a shadow of a doubt.
Tremendous. I mean, you obviously share with the class.
Julie Kay.
Brilliant. Mixed
race, one of the most dread-headed porn stars. Mixed race, beautiful she is. I tweeted her and she replied to me once. Okay,
that's all you need.
A younger me would have been all over Asa Akira though.
That's retro though, isn't it? That's
a younger me though.
Yeah.
14, 15 when I was really like, you know, before when I was getting it and I started getting it, but like these like my age rate, they aren't looking like these women. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Now a few come through the door looking like them, you know what I mean? So,
are you concerned though that the adult industries go down the way of? You remember when the WWF took away all the steroids and it all changed and it got a bit shit for a while? Are you concerned that maybe there's some sort of move comes in regulation and it really just like?
Only
gets rid of the implants.
OnlyFans kind of did that, right? Like now,
that's my favorite female sport. That.
Yeah, but now a girl like who's Mia Khalifa? She said that she only ever made something like 12,000, 15,000 pounds in her like 8 or 9 porn videos that she did.
She's full of shit.
8 or 900.
Yeah, she's doing 10 mil. She's doing 10 mil a month on OnlyFans. The bed.
No, but now she is. But what I'm saying is, when she was actually doing like studio porn, where she was going and doing it and taking a booking fee to do it, she only earned like 12, 15. Then she went and did the sports thing. Then she went back onto OnlyFans. But now, like, she's probably earning millions because she's owning her own content. And when she lets someone else own the content, because of the views, her things, they probably earn millions of her. So really now, like anyone, owning your own content is key. What we went back to, we was talking about before, whether you're, you know, getting your back blown out by fucking 3 BBCs or fucking whatever you're doing, or you're streaming the video game that you're in yourself and putting on Insta and thingy and going on Twitch and saying, oh, who wants to face me right now? And I'm using myself, come challenge me. And I'm 12 round unanimous decision, boring fighting everyone. You know what I mean? But yeah,
don't matter. W is a W. Don't matter.
Yeah. So it's all relative. It's like ownership is important. Like I would never advise anyone to do like I know it's a bit tangent. I would never advise anyone in this lifetime, my kids or other, to go and seek a place in life where you're clocking in and calling someone boss and making their money. I would say struggle for a couple of years until you can work it out. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I did it for 17 years. I did that. Yeah. And literally when I had my first daughter, I'm like, I can't have her seeing me going to a fucking office. And
someone talking to you like shit, like fucking that. I've never had it.
I used to work on trade floors. They used to scream in my face that the color of their network cable wasn't as fast as the person next to them. And you're like, mate, I'll bang you out.
Yeah, like, and it's just
fact.
You let people not treat you like humans for a bit of money, and then they're underpaying you anyway for the amount of money they're making. They're underpaying everyone because money is evil. The root of it is evil, and it's used to control you. So if you chase it all the time, then you're just going to be chasing someone else all the time. So you're waiting for someone to hand out. But if you find your own way to get by in life, whether it makes you millions or not, but you're doing something that you enjoy, then at least your days are enjoyable. Like the nice things and all that, it's all materialistic stuff. Like, but if you go and sit in a little cubicle for 10, 12 hours, don't you know, some people might be happy doing it. I don't know. I've never done it. So I can't.
There's a slight
certain type of person.
There's a certain type of person, but there is some sort of I can't think of another word, but honor in someone that's willing to do that for their family. But also the message that you're putting is that you're going to perpetuate that to the next gen, that this is all that there is and this is what you have to do.
Because the moment that someone gets any form of financial literacy about them, which we're not taught as a kid, because in schools we're taught to be
employees. Yeah.
We are fundamentally raised because of the powers that be need us to be. Someone that falls in line, doesn't stand too far out, doesn't speak too loud, doesn't, express themselves too much. Like, remember about school, someone got a line in their hair, they got sent home and shit like that.
Yep.
Dyed their hair. How is that expressing yourself and trying to be someone that's not like everyone else, even at a young age? We're taught that is wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all over bollocks. Like, literally, the one that doesn't conform gets left out in the cold. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I would never advise someone doing that. Like, because anyone that I know that works and slaves away for just someone else, usually happiness comes in detriment to it. And I understand people be in positions, but whilst you're in the position of doing that, if I was you, I'd be stocking up, saving up even if it's 50p a week. You know what I mean? Trying to do something where you can then apply what knowledge and experience to have some financial freedom. And whilst you're trading hours of your day for close to minimum or round about that wage, you'll never have that freedom because the bills they give you to exist covers that. You're living tooth to mouth, but just working someone where, but no, everyone's not got opportunities. I'm not about to fall into Molly May category here.
No, of course not. But no, you got a very valid point. Yeah.
But just bear in mind, I, from 9 years old, was walked into a boxing gym, continued it, had a 7-month hiatus, and sort of prioritized that as this is what I want to do because I just love being a boxer and fighting. Like, I don't know anything. I love the conflict, I love the entertainment. I'm competitive. I like beating someone at something. Like, if we're playing a FIFA game, and you beat me, I might be smiling off and laughing off, but just know it's bunning me, innit? Just know it's bunning me, innit? Penny up the wall, might lose my pound, I'm vexed. Not about the money. Not about the money. We can keep playing the loss, innit? Win. You know what I mean?
Can't lose it, pound up.
It's the winning. It's like, I remember something, I don't know how off topic this is now, I was before, and it stuck with me. You know, The Last Dance? Everyone that likes sports has seen The Last Dance.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, you don't like sports. It's the best, the premier sporting documentary that's ever existed. Yeah. When they was talking about Michael Jordan and how he'd be at the back of the plane playing for like 10, 15, 20 grand hands, 20, all them big hands. But the moment that game stopped, he'd make his way down to the front and play for £1 and £2 against all the ones that just weren't gamblers. You know what I mean? We're just playing for sport because he wanted to win so bad
at all costs.
This game's done. I remember I played a game of poker at Marcus Rashford's house. Yeah. Funny story. This it was a good table. Me, Lyndon. I don't think Zelfa played. He was there. Brandon Williams and a few other friends. We played a game of poker at his house. The moment in the first game that Rashford was off, he came over and was playing blackjack with me or whatever he was playing, like another game that he just wanted to, he wanted to win it straight away. There was no money in that night. And I did win that game, actually. I came out with about 600 quid, went in there, tranced it, made out, I didn't know what I was doing. Boom, gone. That was a good story. But yeah, it's just about competing, and that's where I'm at with it, with things. But you've got to find something that you actually enjoy and love doing.
Yeah, that's the thing that schools don't help you do. That's the crux of the problem. For myself, I'm dyslexic, probably ADHD, and I've got a couple other little things. You're just told that you're lazy. You're told you're lazy. You got to do this. You got to do that. They don't help you find your talents. They don't help you harness what you're doing. They don't help you understand the difference between.
I'll give you some Adderall and make you sit there like this.
Mate, Adderall weren't even about in my day. I would have loved that shit.
No, but the thing is, I got I'm not sure my primary school, so I was probably too young, but they probably did. I wouldn't ask my parents either. But my secondary school did, and uni did 2 or 3 times. Really tried pushing me into, getting diagnosed for ADHD, because I know I've got it. Like, I exhibit every single,
doesn't change anything. They just put you on something that really just throttles you down. You don't feel like yourself.
I don't even take paracetamol, so you ain't giving me nothing. Trust me, not giving me nothing. Everything I put into my body, well, I'm not, that's a lie, because I eat processed foods and I eat sweets. I'm not talking about stuff like that. But anything I put in my body is usually grown out of the ground. Do you know what I mean? Or come from some photosynthesis, sun come into the I don't the only thing that I need to exist, and I'm still trying to work on a natural remedy, which it probably will be, is antihistamines, because without that I'd be fucking dead. I'm allergic.
Yeah, that's another level of myth.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I've got allergies. I've got urticaria, which if I don't take a hay fever tablet probably every 1 to 2 days, everything will sensitive. My skin, if I scratch it, it'll come up. I'm allergic to animals. Obviously, as I already said, hay fever, flowers, fucking any and everything. I'm sure I'm allergic to nuts as well. But nuts grown out.
There's people out there that can help you with that are called functional medicine people, but a lot of them have those barefoot shoes and a weird ponytail, like a 1987 film director. You know why? Mate, I've seen the Jordans that you put on your stories, mate. You wouldn't be seen dead in a pair of Vibos. Don't even give me that.
No, but what I'm saying is the reason why I hear it is my dad's on the whole. If you're wearing shoes, they should be leather soled. He bollocks me all the time, my dad, for wearing fucking idiot dingbat shoes. He's calls them. Yeah.
Not 200 quid pieces of cloth.
My dad goes for walks now with no shoes on.
Wow.
And he's found God. And he's not religious. I don't know how he found God.
Would he describe himself as a soldier of Christ like I do?
Man, I have no clue, but he's a maverick. Anyone that's met my dad knows he's a bad man. But he created 2 world champion boxers, so there's method to his madness.
He's done all right. Yeah. He'll get a documentary about him if you're not careful.
Everyone that's met him would have probably hear him tell them just how good his boys are and how good they're gonna be and how they're gonna win all the world titles, and he would have told you from us being 12, 13, 14. So it's kind of mad that we kind of proved him right. So now he just sits there.
But as a dad, you're meant to back your kids, right? That's what you want. You don't you don't want someone to be wildly filling you full of fantasy. He knows what he's got, and he's pushing for it.
Okay, but he is a bit of a loon at the same time. He's just very unpolitically correct. He come through an era and was the man about his manner and part of the it firm from very, very young. I'm talking, they was doing robbing cars and that at 13, 14 around Sutton Manor. They're proper the names that you know what I mean? That's what my dad was. So obviously for that generation, he was a bit of a geezer, but obviously now I kind of look at him like a bit of a muppet, and I don't mean that too bad. But I'm just thinking,
but if you ain't got shoes on and you're taking the dog for a walk, you'd be like, Dad, what are you doing? I thought you was a bit of a bad man.
No, I mean, not even a bad man. He's always been a bit he's smaller than me, so he's never been. But obviously in my life, I've seen him. I've just seen him. He had a tire shop, and then he was doing us, and then he was working. I'm not working. He was running our boxing career. Always been a little hustler and that, but. Obviously, he's lived 2 lives before I come about. He was a chauffeur in Saudi Arabia for the royal family and that. All which growing up, I just thought he used to chat shit because when he was speaking about certain things, he would add things, and I was like, that didn't go there. But when I spoke to my sister and other family friends, they're like, no, he's legit. To the point of now, you know, I'm obviously the prince of Dubai. Like I ask him questions about it, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's just a bit mad. But yeah, the leather shoes. But being close to the earth, I will believe in, because I think the further you are away from the earth, you know, like the further
is that the
you are
reason
away,
for tower blocks? Because look, I'm ready to launch a conspiracy podcast. I'd love to have you on. I'm deep in the truth game.
I would, 1, love it, and 2, probably get cancelled. 3, might get assassinated with some of the things.
No. See, I've already taken this into account. We've got a Patreon. So you join the resistance, you come behind the paywall. That means that only people know.
That means you're accountable.
No. It means that no one can do anything ever. You know what I mean?
No, say that, yeah, but all it takes is fucking the wrong powerful person to get in behind that paywall and think, oh, what's going on here in this conspiracy theory corner of the thing? Oh, Sonny gets their chopped off.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to say, actually, with back to content and you would have a banging fucking podcast, boy.
I'm in the process. Well, in the process, that's lazy. I'm not. I'm waiting for people who have supported my career for a long, long time. They're in the middle of transforming like a manor house type, halfway towards mansion, but like more of like a manor house.
Yeah.
With big land, transforming that into their headquarters, and there's going to be a whole podcast setup studio.
Love
I don't
that.
really want to start one until I've got the professional shine. At that point, Sunny Side Up or whatever else it's called is going full tilt in the link up with the boxing game, and they're involved in that as well. It's all coming, but I'm in no rush because it will come as it comes. I will always have opinions. I will always be involved in boxing. I will always be probably saying things and like, I don't know. I just think it might be quite interesting. I've got I do want to do it though, definitely, and I think there's something
I think you'd be brilliant at it.
Yeah, and it just means someone wants to interview, okay, come on my podcast, then there's your interview.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going on yours.
Like you said earlier, then you're the one that's in control of all of the information.
Yeah,
rather than it being like someone else's product.
I know, but at the same time as well, like I respect the hustle. Like I like if I can sit there and chat to someone for an hour and a half and help them and you know connect with their audience and give up my time. I don't mind doing it, like especially when I like someone or think they're all right. I mean, I don't mind doing it.
I think we've become best friends.
Yeah, most definitely. I think most definitely. I mean, I don't even remember your names, but
that's fine. It's fine. I mean, to be honest,
really bad with names. Birthdays,
I'm ready to forget my name anyway. Birthdays. Don't worry about that.
Like, do you know how many times? Yeah, like a girl's like, "When's my birthday?"
That's a trick question.
I'll be like,
I've decided that that's always a trick question.
And what I'll say every time, and it usually fits, yeah, because they never normally last more than a year. Yeah, I always go, "I've not even had a birthday of you yet, so how am I gonna know?" The only way I remember it, do you know what I mean? So I usually get out of it that way, but until they go, yes, you have, we did this, and I'm like, then I'm trying to think about what I was doing near that time to see if I can zero it down.
I might have to sort you out with a like connect with my best mate who has 4 or 5 at any one time concurrent girlfriends. They all know about each other. They share a Google calendar. He got rid of the Beamer. Fact. I can send you all of his details. He'll probably do like a webinar for you. Right, Google Calendar shared, got rid of the 3 series, bought himself like a little minivan. So when he has to, ship around the harem, living his best life. Shout out to Drew, living it.
You know what's mad? Yeah. And this is one thing I will say for anyone listening. I don't know if I'd want that because one girl's headache enough. I don't know if I deal with 4 or 5.
No. He's very distant with them.
Yeah, no, that's how you've got to do it. Like
that's the key.
I'm in the mind frame where I'm trying to be like just sort of doing my thing, keeping things casual. That's what you do. You see them once, twice a week, maybe once, twice a month. Like
only if they've booked into the calendar, though. You don't want conflict.
They have to have it reserved.
Yeah. You got to book it in.
No, but I'm too last minute. Like I'll probably come off this and see who wants to come see me. Now I'm joking. If any girls, listening,
it's entertainment. This is entertainment.
Yeah, and everything allegedly. But
yeah, exactly.
What I do is when I'm asking this, like I could be happily settled down right now. I might not be. I might have 10 girls on the go. It could be anywhere in between right now.
No one needs to know.
And if you're involved, you know. And if you're not, you don't. But what I'm saying is in times when obviously that's what I'm doing. I'm putting myself when I was in other places. Obviously. Right. But I don't know. I think the truth sets you free in this world. And I've been the guy that weren't always so forthcoming with the truth and the lie. Deny till you die. Do you know what I mean? But now
valid truths, right? Valid truths. I mean,
yeah,
is it a lie? Is it the truth? It's a valid truth that we believe in.
But I feel like now, or other times, do you know, I feel quite forward with the opposite sex. Maybe this is the conversation we're talking about now, and you sort of tell them what it is, what you can offer them. Like, you might lose some on that, you might lose some, but usually girls will either do one or two things. They'll accept what the honesty and the level. With the back of their head, they might still be trying to change you. You know what I mean? They think, yeah, I'll get him. You know what I mean? I'll get him. Which that's on their own decision, because you have kind of told them. Yeah.
And at that point, you have to say, Tuesday, calm down.
No, but if you tell them, like, yo, this isn't really a serious thing for me right now, I'm not in that place, then you can give them all the cuddles, you can buy them gifts, you can take them out, you can do whatever, and they can fall in love. But you can say, well, remember back to that conversation when I told you it's not really serious, you know what I mean? So you can do that, but I don't know. I think the truth sets you free, like I said. So if you're a big age and you're a man, have kids now, and you're still lying to women about to get what you want, I think that's just a little bit energy, to be honest. Because you know, if you've got it like that, then you don't really need to do it. You know what I mean? Just be honest. And just, do you know what the mad thing is? Half of these girls, probably less than half, they're not even looking for their forever home in you. They're thinking, I like him because of this, and that. But you see this, that, and the other. Oh, it kind of puts me off him. But you know what?
Yeah,
he's got quite a big dick. He knows how to use it. His mouth's very, very quick, and there we go. Do you know what I mean? It's relative. So there's pros and cons for everyone. Like, I'm terrible sometimes. Like, I'm really terrible sometimes. Like, girls, like, say if I'm just sort of moving a bit casually, let's say, I don't know how to put it better, I get blocked probably by one or the other once, twice a week. Like, unblocked usually as well. They always come back up. Like, I get blocked all the time. Like, all the time. Blocked all the time. Like, then they usually unblock, and then you see them again, and then it is what it is. But yeah, you just gotta be honest, I think, in this life. I think life's too short, man. And now in the days of screenshotting and gaslighting on Instagram and that, it's like, oh, you don't even want to be a part. Like, you can't even do it. Like, you can't even really do it subtly no more.
No.
Like,
everyone's exposed to everything.
The dynamic of the world is changing. Like, girls, women, females, whatever, how you want to chop it up. Like, I feel like in my lifetime they've changed. Like, I feel like their role models have changed. I think their priorities have changed. Like, not all of it, not across the board, but like, if we're talking general patterns of movement, like, I don't know, I see girls legging fellas all the time now, and I never used to see it.
Predators as well, and they're so much better at lying. Fact. Like, they're immaculate.
Immaculate.
Yeah.
See, if I went outside this road now, where I am now, and waited for the first woman to walk past and was like, hey, Trent's coming in here, and you know what I mean? I'd probably get a slap in the face. But you see, if an half-decent looking, not even half-decent looking girl went out to any random man on the street.
Oh, come on now.
I'd be about 80-90% chance. If they stood out there for 15 minutes, 1,000,000,000% would get someone.
Yeah, I mean, a few of us will walk past and be like, this is a stitch up. I don't know what's going on here. Like,
you're probably going to rob me.
Looking for the camera.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's go. It's worth it. Fuck it. I can fight. You know what I mean?
Guys, I'm going to leave that there because I think we've covered way more than I ever expected. And this was an absolute fucking banger.
Everything but boxing, really.
We had a little bit, but it's to be fair, it's you know, it's called fighting words. It's not called boxing words. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hear that.
Guys, thank you so much. Best of luck for next week. We will be like fanboying, ready.
Looking forward to seeing you do your business.
I appreciate you. And you know what's mad, yeah? Hopefully by the end of the year, I'm gonna have those 2 belts behind you, but the real versions.
I hope so. I mean, they are real in a capacity of that. This is listen. A lot of nylons died for this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
I can imagine that. It looks nice though. It looks smart.
There you go.
It'll look good on you.
Listen, when you're double strapped, that's what you want.
I've done it. I've actually got a video of me double strapped because, believe it or not, my mum has got a WBC belt. So I've actually got videos of me with both belts, and you know, I mean, I was practicing how to carry WBC with the IBF, you know, and what color looks better on which side. And I've already, you know what I mean? I've already visualized, you know, if I was one of those deep spiritual persons and
vision board,
visualization,
the secret, some sort of meditation, and
you've literally just described my big brother.
Perfect. I know, but listen, if it works for you, it works for you, and he seems a super positive guy.
He has a stone around his neck that charges up with energy and gets warm before a fight.
The richest man I know has that too, and
mad,
he.
Isn't it?
Like this geezer is worth hundreds, and he will tell you point blank, he'll look you in the eye and say, you have the warrior energy that I like. And other people that don't have the warrior energy that he likes, he'll 100%, you're not for me, you. I respect that.
Because what it is no matter what you believe in, it's the belief. Yeah.
Yep.
I believe in myself to a fault. Like, genuinely, like, you're probably going to see at some point in my boxing career, me do something stupid, like, go up 5 weights and fight the number one. Yep. I'll probably get knocked out, maybe not. You know what I mean? But because I believe in myself, roll the dice, like, but only because I believe in myself would it be theoretically, physically possible. And if you didn't, so like, I know someone, quickly, I'm not gonna, just to finish on that,
yeah.
I know someone that, you know, like, the juju man, innit? Yeah. So he and I've never seen someone speak to me with so much conviction about anything. He was telling me a story of what happened. Yeah, he's from a certain way of life. Yeah.
Okay.
There's an incident happened where someone pulled something out on him. Pat, nothing come out of the gun. He likens that the only reason he likens that down to is because he is protected. Do you know what I mean? He has got his spells. He is protected. No weapon can form against him, can hurt him. Yeah. And there's a video that I got sent by my baby mother because he lives in this close vicinity to her, of him chasing the said man after this happened with a baseball bat. And have you ever heard a man chase someone down with a baseball bat and just try shooting them with a gun? I haven't, but when this man told me the story, I can see why. You know what I mean? Because he believes more than anything in this world that he's protected, that nothing can harm him. Yeah, but because of that belief, it will leave him to do things that other people wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And in that instance, it worked out. And I mean, the only moment that is not going to work out is when it's too late. You know what I mean?
In that instance, that's the key thing, because we've all seen the YouTube videos of the Kung Fu master that's like, hit me. I've put my energy shield on, and this like geezer, this Dagestani just gives him 5 minutes later a one piece.
Yeah. But at the same time, as if it works in that moment when it needs to.
Oh, could you imagine?
And for me, it's the maddest story, but it's always stuck with me. And for me, I don't, because I can't buy into the fact that, you know, he's done his, whatever he's done is ritual. I don't know I don't know the process of it. But whatever he's done, I cannot fathom that there is this shield of invincibility. Like, I cannot fathom that. But what I can fathom is, because he believes it to be so true so much, he walks the earth like it is.
Yep.
And that is his own superpower in itself.
It's his reality.
Mate, it works for Ryu in Street Fighter. Let me just tell you that much. That's what that dude does. Barefoot, walking around, backpack, ready to go. Done.
Barefoot, see, maybe that's the secret.
That's the secret.
That's it. That's the next step.
Guys, on that note, mate, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck. Can't wait to see you back out, champ.
No, I appreciate you. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you, man.
Pleasure.
All the best, dude. Bye.